The term gallant Makererians is something that has been making rounds in the past few weeks across the country. And every time you hear Makerere, it's either for a few reasons. One, academics. Not a few, rather. It's rather for specific reasons, which is either academics. The riots have really decreased over time. It's either graduation or the rest for guild, because these are things that clearly create room for public conversation. Makerere University, and of course the pride of Uganda in terms of education, the heel of Makerere, very significant in this particular country, and only in Uganda, by the way. It has shaped so many leaders across the continent, and one of the greatest universities to ever exist in the country, over 100 years here and still going. 13 candidates are contending for the 92nd seat in the race for Makerere University. A race that has always been seen to shape future leaders in this country and one of the foundation of political careers across the continent. We sit down with two of the candidates, each representing a political party. One, Gracious Kadondi, aspirant for the Guild President, Makerere University, with the NUP ticket. A very good morning, Gracious. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. Good morning, Uganda.
Well, good morning to you. And then we have Jimmy Prince Tebakor, aspirant, Guild President, Makerere University, NRM. Very good morning.
Good morning, Benson. Good morning, Uganda.
Okay. I'm having them for the second time again. Yesterday they were here for the Guild presidential debate. The 13 candidates were with us during the mid-morning hours of the day. Let's get off with why the both of you are contesting for Guild President of Makerere University. What inspired the motive? I'll start with you, Gracious.
All right, and thank you so much. So the inspiration mainly came through the fact that I did serve as Guild Vice President, and in such a position I get to understand how dirty the administration is, because when a frog jumps out of the water and it tells you that the crocodile in the water is dead, then you get to actually understand it best, because it has been closer to the truth. And that is exactly what happened, because while I served as Guild Vice President, I got to understand a number of challenges or a number of dynamics in the administration and why our voices are being suppressed, because I'm in my year 3, and over the years I've seen quite a number of leaders promising us a number of things, but no one gets to deliver, basically because of the mode of operation that they've chosen, trying to bench for the administration, kneel for the administration, and that is not what you need as Makerere students. We need to fight for what truly belongs to the students. You mentioned that Makerere has shaped a number of leaders. When you look at Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Norbert Mao, Emmanuel Dombo, these are great leaders, but they were all shaped from Makerere. It's no longer happening now because the leaders are being suppressed, the voices are being suppressed, so we need to revive back the Makerere that we once knew, and that is basically why I had to come in and stand for Guild President, because the change starts with us. If we remain silent, then it will proceed through the generations to come.
Okay, Jimmy Prince, when you look at the state of the university, you coming up to stand as Guild President, is it a motivation from the party you're representing? Is it something because your birthdays say, can you stand as Guild President? What's it?
Thank you, Benson.
Joram.
What I can tell you, it is the unwavering and commitment that I have towards Makererians. And I, as a person, Tebakor Prince Jimmy is a name that sounds within Makerere. And I subscribe to the Unicode Solidarity. And for that, I stand as a student leader. I've been serving as a class rep in the previous government, and the challenges that we have faced is quite a lot. But my party, NRM, has over the past has tried so much to involve itself into the Makerere politics and leadership. For that, it has mentored a lot of people. It has given a stepping stone for us, the leaders. And what I can tell you that inspired me, sir, is the unfair policies that we have in Makerere, especially the tuition policy. It's quite unfortunate that you attend lectures, you do coursework, presentation. At the end of the day, you don't sit for papers. I say no, we prioritize our fight on that. I, as an NRM candidate, will lobby for funds for our students that are financially constrained, and I would advocate and negotiate with the administration and even the government, the ruling government, that is the NRM. And another thing that also pushed me so much to come for this is to really extend and expand on the international students internship programs. You can take it on College of Agriculture and Environmental Science. There are these internship programs that come over a sudden, that 30 agents are taken to Israel. And they receive that some money that would help them. And once they reach there, they are given accommodation and all that, some facilitation. They learn a lot that helps us as gallant Makererians, even back in our research and all that. But the main issue is service delivery.
Okay.
Is not paramount, and it's not touching down to the students.
Okay.
But I, as NRM cadre, at least I think I will lobby more and reach out to these offices and knock on their doors and to tell them the issues that are really stressing us out as gallant Makererians.
Okay, and Gracious, Makerere's Guild president role has been deemed to weaken in role and vibrancy in the recent years in shaping students' future. Is it time that that changes, and how is it going to be done? Because is it an harmonious understanding between the Guild Council and management, or is it just the Guild role being suppressed?
It is actually attributed to the fact that the Guild Constitution and Statute were changed and physical campaigns and elections were banned from the university. So right now, the mode of campaigns or the mode of elections, it is online. So people do not get to understand the kind of leaders that they are putting in place, because you cannot tell me that the person shares most flyers in a student's inbox is going to win the election. Does a flyer really depict how competent someone is? Does a flyer really depict how aggressive or vocal they can be? Because these are the qualities that we expected from the leaders of Makerere. Unfortunately, we are no longer getting that. The person who shares a flyer and it looks good is the person that they are going to vote for. So in such a situation, we are not going to come up with the best leaders. Leaders are not going, even when you look for them to demand for accountability, you will not find them anywhere, because in the very first place, you never met them. You do not know where to find them. So I think all has come out because of the mode of the elections that we are running in from the time the constitution was changed. But also, there's a limit now. Year ones cannot stand for any position at the university. Year ones cannot stand for GRC positions, CGC positions. Yet, these would have been the very first steps before they go for bigger positions to attain that experience, so that by the time they come back in year two, they are able to serve the students' leadership in the best way. But we are deprived from that now, yet even in our very own country, the highest qualification you need to go for president is just Form 6. So why are they limiting the year ones from standing for such positions? Yet these are the most vibrant people in the university. You don't expect someone who is approaching their final year to be as vibrant as a year one. So that is why the kind of leadership that we've been having, or the type of leaders that Makerere is giving out to the nation, is declining.
Okay, when you look at the cost of elections that are increasing, Jimmy Breeze, it is actually increasing on a large scale, the cost of elections, campaigns and all of that. And there are reports that it's now penetrating through into the Students' Council elections in the universities. Yesterday, I did see a post on X by the outgoing Churchill James Santamo, who's the 91st Guild President of Makerere University, saying things have changed, that there is no way you expect to run a campaign without putting in a cost. So does that mean that the narrative has changed? Is now money pulling the right cards for someone to win?
At one point, sir, I can tell you, money as well has been in circulation. For that I can tell you. And running a campaign, this digital campaign, it requires resources. You have to give out to the media personnel. You have to have a team. The EC put it out that you have to move with around 20 people. And this team, you have to facilitate them, at least buy them something to eat or drink. And for that, you need money. I can tell you, you need money in this campaign. Makerere is like a summarized Uganda. That is what I can tell you. And running for guild presidency in Makerere, it means that you have the capability and the mind to run this campaign. And it also needs money. For that I can tell you. Yes, sir.
Does that in any way make it difficult for the students to make fair judgment? This is a question for the both of you. Does it make it difficult for students to make fair judgments if a candidate is using their financial strength, you know, to lure supporters?
It is quite unfortunate. I was very much disappointed in the 91st Guild President when I saw what he had posted on X, trying to show the public that we cannot run away from money now in the politics, especially the students' leadership. I mean, we are supposed to be the leaders of tomorrow, but if the leaders of tomorrow are the ones that are frontlining money, then what is that? Because I thought we are supposed to sell out our ideas to the students. Students are supposed to vote for Kadon Gracious because of how capable she is, not because of how much money she has given me. But if even the outgoing guild president is supporting that, then it is quite unfortunate. Then it's really evident that the leaders that we are producing are not actually good enough. And I'm seated here right next to my comrade representing the NRM, and he is also supporting the same. So what kind of country are we living in if we cannot have leaders that are voted for because of their capabilities? And how do you expect these leaders to serve? Because the moment you give me money, then I'm not going to ask for accountability because you've already bought me out. So that means we are actually selling out our guild.
Okay.
These are the issues that we are having, and everyone is silent about it. Even the leaders that have been in place, leaders that have passed through the same campaigns, are also coming out to support the same.
Okay. Jimmy, she says you're supporting something that should not be supported, though.
And for that, my comrade, I can tell her, we do need money in this election, especially to get these materials that you're going to use in your campaign.
Okay.
More especially the flyers, the posters.
Yes, it's undeniable there is an investment you put to it.
That is my main point.
Okay.
There is some investment that you have to put on table. But I'm not saying that we should vote for a person with the more money and the more capable candidate is left out. Sorry for that.
No,
you
but
misquote me.
I think there's a difference between money that is required to do the posters, the flyers, the tags, and
the
hard
cost
cash.
of doing the entire campaign.
Yes. And monetarization of the politics.
True.
Because someone is going to come to me and they're like, Gracious, how much money do you need to support me?
Is that happening?
That is what is happening in Makerere right now. A certain aspirant is approaching people and they're like, how much money do you need to change from Gracious's side to my side? This is what is happening in Makerere University. And people are silent about it.
I wonder though, doesn't that undermine the level at which the students of Makerere University approach these elections themselves? Because I'm thinking you should be able to, from the grassroots of let's say the class leadership, the beauty is both of you have led still in different capacities at the university. When you interact with these students, what is their view of a guild president? What are their expectations of a guild president?
A guild president should advocate, engage, and be that bridge between the administration and the students. That is what I'm pushing for.
Okay.
That is what I stand for as Tebakoro Jimmy Prince in this election. And being NRM candidate, it gives me that direct link to the ruling party. And for that, I can reach out and at least my voice is heard than these opposition leaders. For over the time, the opposition leaders have turned to be puppets because they are compromised at the end of the day. And
compromised in the sense of?
Compromised in the sense of service delivery to the students. They reach out and they side with the administration.
Okay.
You can see it through the years. And the laws that they have passed, the policies that they have amended. And I tell you, the opposition leaders are just masqueraders, perpetrators.
We have one opposition leader here as well. He makes a claim that you people are just in the mix and you're not showing your true colors. I want to interpret it that way.
All right. So my comrade Jimmy says that he can best serve the students because he is NRM, but then the administration is NRM. Why is it that we are still complaining about the issues that we are having? The university council is made up of 24 people, and 90% of the people are actually NRM. So what difference are you going to make that we've not seen? Because these people are from your party, and we've not had the change that we want. That is why me, as someone who stands on the values of the National Unity Platform, I believe we need to fight for what belongs to the students, because there's as we are in the struggle to bring back the just Uganda, it still goes back to our institutions, Makerere University inclusive.
Well, over the years, there were issues of sexual marks and exploitation of students by lecturers at the university. Has that changed? How has it been dealt with? With, let's say, the different positions you've been serving in the previous guild, how has it been dealt with? Are these cases decreasing? Are they increasing? Are they normal? Or
the cases are actually decreasing because of at least we've had like 2 policies that are really being pushed forward. For example, when you look at the sexual harassment policy, when you look at the safeguarding policy now in place, at least people know where to run to in case such things happen, and they are protected. So yes, there's a step. Even the Gender Mainstreaming Directorate has done its best. So for that case, I think there's a decrease.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would like to pick your parting shots, but in your parting shots, the both of you will give us a little bit of the promises you're making for the students of Makerere University, and just for the leaders' understanding of how the situation is. On the 9th of April, Makerere University will be voting their 92nd guild president, and there are currently no open-air campaigns. There was an issue just a few days back where the Makerere University Electoral Commission decided that they should no longer do those open-air campaigns because of the violence the various supporters of various camps were trying to put up at the university grounds and the university auditoriums. But let's get into your parting shots. I'll start with Prince. What is your message to the students of Makerere?
My message to the students of Makerere, we have a chance, we have an opportunity to choose a candidate that is going to serve the students of Makerere in their best interest. And for that, I and my team have come with a comprehensive manifesto outlining our goals, our vision, and strategies on improving students' life, academic experience, and guild governance. For that, we are reviewing the tuition policy for affordability. We are all fortunate enough to go to a public university like Makerere University. By all accounts, it should be affordable. But however, to reasons unknown to many and policies, we prioritize our fight on that. And we preach for advocacy, engagement, and negotiation with the university administration. We also look at effective representation of students in the university council. I, Tebakoro Jimmy Prince, will ensure that the government students are well represented, the private students are well represented, students with disability are well represented, the international students are well represented. With them, we can debate on issues affecting the students.
Thank you again. Gracious.
All right, and thank you so much. I will not go deep into my manifesto because we were talking about the same yesterday But everything that we are highlighting in our different manifestos is just, it requires either a change in an existing policy or creation of an alternative policy that is in the favor of the students' fraternity. But how are we going to be able to do that? Unfortunately, my brother here is talking about negotiating and advocacy. This is what has been happening, and that is why we've not been getting the results that we expect. So I believe we need to stand with one voice. We need to speak the same language as the students, because we are in a battle, we are in a struggle to bring back the Makerere that we once knew. And we need leaders that are going to be at the front line of such a battle, because nothing beats a united voice, and that is what we need. Yeah, we say that when the people speak, when the students speak, and they are all speaking the same thing, their leaders are at the front line, their leaders are leading them in that direction, then nothing will beat them, nothing will challenge them. They'll be able to bring back the Makerere that they need, because all these policies can only be changed if there's that influence. If we are presenting a policy, how is it backed up? Where is the research coming from? If we are saying we need to increase the allowances of government students, what is the impact? If we are saying that tuition policy is not favorable enough, how many people are against it? What is the impact of having this in place? The changes that we want to make, how are they going to positively impact our university? So first of all, we need to come from an informed point of view, but also stand as one, because we need to raise our voices as a whole, as a students' fraternity, so that we get the Makerere that we once knew. Thank you so much. I remain Kadondi Gracious, aspiring guild president and the official flag bearer of the National Unity Platform.
Well, I've got 2 of the 13 candidates that will be vying for that particular seat of the 92nd Guild President of Makerere University. My 2 guests this morning, Gracious Kadondi, aspirant, Guild President Makerere University, and a candidate for the NUP, and then Jimmy Prince Tebakor, aspirant, Guild President Makerere University, candidate for the NRM, and of course there's also the UYD being represented in this particular race. The others are independent leaning in that particular race, but of course we shall be giving you more updates about how that particular race would have ended, that is after the students would have cast their vote. You use the students' portal, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, you're still watching Morning at NTV. We'll return with a conversation in relation to the National Drug and Health Products Authority Bill 2025. Stick around with us. Good morning.